Veggie boy. Veggie boy. Bonjour. 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 Nota. Not so, not so, not so. Bonjour. Bonjour. Oui. Oui. Okay, I'm ready. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm gonna drink. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Got so many stories for tonight. It's not even funny anymore. Like, super not funny. It's not loading. I don't know why. What's wrong with the game? Oh, loaded. Never mind. I'm a liar. Hello, Filippo Gust. People are like, Lucy, why you no stream? When in reality, nobody watches. What do you want us to tweet? Oh. Let me try. Should I try it now? The two-step verification thing? Should I try? I can try it now because nobody's here yet. I mean, you're here, but apart from you. Ugh. Mm. Not so jest, Bushu. Fido is here as well. He's like, you know? And I'm like, no nie, Bushu, Bushu, Bushu. You know what I mean? Wait, hold on. I am logged in.
Admittedly, not the most active chat in the world.
Hold on, I am logged in. It looks like.
I guess we would let you in.
Hold on. I'm gonna write in the chat. OMG. Yeah, I'm logged in on my. I think I can raid people now from, at least from the desktop. I can raid people. Yeah, I chatted just now. Creator dashboard. Stream. Yeah, streaming tools. Stream manager. There you go. I can raid. Alright, I can raid today. Someone on Twitch. Alright. So that's happened. So we can start building an audience on Twitch finally. Or something. You know? I think. Yeah. Gonna be exciting like tigers and beavers. You know? I'm playing Black Mesa, but Dr. Johns is not here. Because Dr. John has betrayed me. Also, we're fundraising. I cracked my tooth. Even more than it was cracked. So consider donating. But also, let me see. But more importantly, throne. Oh yeah, copy link. But more importantly, help me have good audio in Ukraine. Hello. Oh, hello. Do I know you? Do you are you? Oh no, wait. I know you. You're from Discord. You're from President Sunday's Discord as well. Hello. Consider contributing to the throne to help me get a microphone so that I can get a better audio when I'm in Kiev. You know that I do the reporting in Ukraine, right? On children that you know what I mean, yeah, right? And children that were kidnapped, and overall children that suffer from war. Whoa. Oh, I'm back here again. What's actually funny is I was actually recommended your channel before we talk on Sunday's Discord. Oh, wait, really? On YouTube? Do you mean on YouTube? You were actually recommended my channel? Really? So what did you think of it? Oh my gosh. Okay, wow. Okay. So what did you think of it? I did not see that coming. Ooh, yeah. What did I do? What do I do? Whoa. I fell. What did this do? Like it a lot? Wow, thank you. I have gained a viewer from our recommendation. And then you met me in person. And I'm like, yeah, you know? Today we have a lot of interesting topics to cover. I'm gonna cover politics today. It's gonna be a political stream, not just gaming. I am going to tell you why I should not be making any decisions in life, as per the title of the stream, because Asmongold has told me so. Asmongold has decreed that I cannot make any decisions on my own in life. Because I'm a transgender. So I cannot make any choices. It's forbidden for me. What do I do? Am I stuck? I think I'm stuck. This is what happens when Dr. Johns is not here to guide me. This is what happened when Dr. Johns is not watching over me. That is true. Also, I'm gonna talk about how... Did I die? I'm gonna talk about how the Supreme Court has decided that actually conversion therapy for children might be good. And also Pete Hegseth has sent a letter to the military forces that all soldiers must man up. So it's gonna be an interesting... Also Viktor Orban news. I'm gonna also have some Viktor Orban news. Oh. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. I was missing something. Okay. Oh. Campaign load game. What about conversion therapy? The Supreme Court is basically saying, hey, it might be good. Actually, maybe, just maybe. Why isn't it working? Maybe conversion therapy is good for children. That is what the Supreme Court is thinking. If somebody is identifying quote unquote as gay as a child, then maybe, you know, and maybe they should be converted. Ugh. Maybe they should get a conversion therapy to cure them of their identity of being gay. What am I doing wrong? So why is the game loading so slow? So those are the topics for tonight. I had some other topics as well. Oh yeah, I forgot. The health expert RFK Jr. said that um, RFK Jr. said that we should not listen to experts because listening to experts is what authoritarianism and religion do. Yeah, listening to expert is religious fanaticism, I guess, according to our head of medicine, RFK Jr. says. We live in a very interesting world right now, and we have to talk all about it. We live in a very sad reality. But you know what? Oof, at least we can eat cake or something. I have an early start tomorrow. I have to get out to the city. But yes, it's wild. It's insane. So those are the topics that I wish to cover today. Aren't they cool? Cool topics? Also, I wanna sit down and edit. I wanna sit down and work on a few Ukraine-related projects finally. So that's a thing. Isn't that cool? Also, I wanna... Huh, what is this? I died. Hey Lucy, did I miss the news? No. I was just recapping what news I'm gonna do today. What else? But do consider... Oh wait, am I? I am. I am, aren't I? I am. That's true. So... But I died and it was embarrassing, so that's okay. Also, what am I saying? What was I? Oh yeah, also consider going to my throne and helping me get the microphone. I hope to be able to go to Ukraine with a new microphone so that we can have good audio quality. Yeah. Please consider. Oh me. I don't know what to do. Every dollar counts. We have gathered 37% of the amount to get a microphone. Isn't that cool? 37%. If Dr. Jones was here, he'd tell me what to do. Also, press like on stream. Hold on, I have to go. I'm gonna go to YouTube and I'm gonna like my own stream. Because this is what professional streamers do. They like their own stream. I press like, and now I have 3 likes. Here we go. This is what pros do. Oh yeah, I have also news about an adaptation of a famous Polish novel. You'll tell me what to do? What, have you beaten Black Mesa? Have you beaten Black Mesa? Lalka, the doll. It's a Polish novel. There's gonna be a Netflix adaptation. TLDR, it's about a rich businessman who falls in love with a spoiled noble girl and the love is one-sided and she doesn't love him. And it causes him a lot of grief. Yeah, you know, story is all this time. Rich business guy falls in love with spoiled noble. Story is all this time. I don't know what to do. Am I supposed to be avoiding this? I'm about to rage quit. Ah, so this is what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to avoid these stupid beams. Okay. See, I'm getting forward, even without Dr. Jones guiding me every step. Even though Dr. Jones should be guiding me. With Dr. Jones' guidance, this would be going much faster and smoother. But I thought the Democrats made straight love stories illegal. It's not a love story because the person does not love the guy back, so... You know? If the person is unloved, then the story is allowed. Wait, don't I have weapons? Also, I've lost my hormones. I cannot find them. I've been so unlucky in life lately. You don't believe... You wouldn't believe how unlucky I've been lately. You should feel very sorry for me. If you have a heart, you will feel very sorry for me. And I believe you do. I believe you have a heart. I believe you're not a heartless person. I'm healing. That sounds very similar to Lolita. Yeah? But Larka is about two adults. Look, I'm chasing the red thing. What? What am I supposed to do? Where am I? Oh my god. I'm annoyed. Am I supposed to get here? Oh, where am I supposed to? Hello, fake Cal Parker. Thank you for the $25. Although it would be best if you did it for the throne and the microphone. Go to sleep. Why do you want me to go to sleep? And I prepared a new story just for you. You're so ungrateful. You have no gratefulness in your heart. You're zero. No, that I cannot do. I cannot meet this request. What story? About the Netflix Lalka adaptation. Whoa, I fell. Oh, crap. Yeah, there's gonna be a Netflix Lalka adaptation apparently. Oh, crap. They're even building a whole 19th century Warsaw set for it. So we're gonna see if it's good or if it's crap. Well, there's apparently mixed opinions on it, so we're gonna investigate why there's opinions that are mixed on the project. You knew about it? Did you know about it? Why, the controversy you've been known about for a few months? I didn't know about it, to be honest. Huh. Guess we're going here. Disc. I could just manually donate the $25 myself to the round, actually. Would be so much closer to getting the goal. No. Yeah, there usually are not. But I'm not sure if that's the only controversy. I guess we're gonna have to get into it when we get into it. I'm not sure if that's the only controversy, that it's not 100%. I do like the idea of rebuilding, of making a set of 19th century Warsaw. Anything that involves rebuilding old Warsaw is always excites me to a degree. Any idea of re-showing, retelling, rebuilding, showing how Warsaw used to be, that always gets me happy. Yeah, it would be cool. Anyway, in a way, Krakow lacked out that it stopped being the capital, because Krakow was not nearly as destroyed as Warsaw was. My hot take is that it's actually better if the adaptation is not that accurate. Like, the heart of the original should be there, but apart from that, I'm good. Look at The Shining or Apocalypse. Did that Warsaw did not see as much fighting and destruction during First War as it saw during the Second, obviously. It was occupied by different forces, but it wasn't really destroyed. During World War One, you did not really see as much fighting in cities proper like in World War Two. You did not see cities bombed and civilians killed quite like in World War Two. It was World War Two that set the precedent for that. In World War One, the fighting mostly happened in the trenches rather than to the civilians. We'll see. I'm still not sure if the Lalka adaptation will be a movie or a TV series. If it's a TV series, then they have space to, you know, include all the subplots, etc. I think a big subplot was the protagonist helping a poor girl. Was a big subplot in the helping a poor girl, who I think would have been a better pair up with the protagonist than the spoiled noble girl that he was in love with. But I think that was not subtly implied in the book itself, so I'm not really making some huge discovery with that one. It was all but stated in the book that that was the case. With classics like that, like the doll, I think a good middle ground would be one accurate adaptation and one where they sort of fiddle with it. Yeah, they could fiddle with it. They could add some scenes. They could add extra interpretation. I mean, at the end of the day, if you want the real thing, it's always best to read the book. Is it a big book? It's not a huge book. I remember really enjoying it when I read it. It was one of my favorites when I read it at school. Usually there's this feeling of being forced to read books at school, but I did not have that with The doll. Oh my gosh. We're gonna see. We're gonna see what the controversy is. Hmm. Is it really? Holy crap. It felt so much shorter when I read it. I cannot believe that it's 600 or 700 pages. It felt so much shorter when I read it. I felt like I breezed through it. Well, it might be long, but it reads very fast. It reads very quick. So you don't really feel like it's 700 pages. I could have sworn I read it so long ago. I could have sworn it was shorter than that. It certainly feels a lot shorter than that. Oh. I'm gonna look it up now. Ile stron ma lalka? Depending on the edition, it ranges from 480 pages to more than 800. So I guess it depends on how many letters are fit on a page, how big the edition is. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, books used to be released periodically in little episodes. That's true. A lot of books were released like that. In newspapers, I believe. They were published in newspapers. Ah, things used to be so different. Where is the... Where is my bow gun? Oh, there you go. But yeah, it felt shorter to me because it's just a good read, I think. When you like something, then it just flies by. That's the reality. It's just a good book. What can I say? So it felt short. Oh crap. I'd actually read a book that would release every week, like a TV show. Yeah, yeah. I think I thought about it. I used to think about it a bit when many years ago. I probably would as well. But I think that could be potentially a thing that could, because there's a lot of talking about how the press is dying, traditional newspapers dying, etc. You know, and I feel like that's something that could kind of revive it, so to speak, because it's original content. You know, if you could get publishers, if you could get newspapers to print original authors' works that would be good, then potentially you could have original content for your newspaper that would draw readers to get them and read them. But of course, people would have to want to read books for that to work, to read the stories. But, you know, that is potentially, oh god, that is potentially an idea to hook more readers to your newspaper. I have to reread it. I actually forgot most of it. I only remember the main beats. Like the fact that the ending is ambiguous if the protagonist is alive or not. Okay, I have to load an earlier thing. Should we read it before the Netflix thing? Hmm. Wait, never mind. No, no. What's it about? What's the new Chopin film about? Haven't seen, no. There's been a new Chopin contest recently. I've seen that it's been streamed on YouTube. Chopin contest is always popular. Oh. Oh. So much of this crap. What is it about? Is it like the Chopin video game about the night that he died? and him having a fever dream about being in an RPG. I don't think anything will ever top that. Yeah, that's right. There was a video game about the night that Chopin died, about him being in a fever dream. That's a Japanese RPG. And it's called Eternal Sonata. It was on I want to say it was on the Xbox. Eternal Sonata was on the Xbox. So does the story beat that premise? Eternal Sonata, that's the title of the game. The battle system was in real time. I can show some of the gameplay even. At some point. Where am I supposed to go now? I don't think I'm supposed to be able to reach over there. I guess we're gonna watch some Eternal Sonata. So what's the story about? There's no clear pathway forward. There's no clear pathway forward. Which is strange. I want a clear pathway forward, but I just cannot find one. Should I be making this jump? Is that it? So let me check something real quick. Let me check the state of the... This game is Black Mesa. It's a remake, a fun remake of Half-Life. You know Half-Life, right? It's old. Oh yeah, it's very old. Well, the remake is not that old, actually. Half-Life is old, but I believe the remake is actually not that old. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to make the jump. Like, how old is... Let me see. How old is Black Mesa? How old is Black Mesa? The video game Black Mesa is 12 years old as of October 2025. I guess it's old as well. But it's not as old as Half-Life. I mean, you could tell that about... Okay, which... I'm gonna ask you a trick question then. Which shooters are not generic shooters? Name me a shooter that's not a generic shooter then. Also, Half-Life innovated a lot when it came out, so it has that going for it. That Half-Life actually, when it premiered, introduced a lot of innovation into the genre. So it was not generic in the slightest, in that sense. Metro? How is Metro not generic? Okay, I guess we can get in now. I should play Metro. Whoa. I guess I'm dead. Almost. Oh. Yeah, people used to read magazines for stories. And newspapers. Might as well... Oh, might as well use this. That works. What? What killed me? Oh, I hate this so much. I really want to get past this part. We're just gonna play a bit more and then we're gonna get to the news, I guess. Oh, the healing pond. Where's the Ukrainian flag? I didn't get it yet. I did not get it yet. The tentacles killed me. Maryland flag. Oh, yeah. I do have that one. I should fly it. I did get that one. I could fly it where the empty corner is. Ah, the Maryland flag. Got good taste. What the? Oh, come on. This is ridiculous. Okay, I'm quitting. Dr. Jones is not watching anyway. That's ridiculous. Where's the EU? Who cares about the EU? Nobody cares about the EU. Let's be honest. Alright, I'm gonna show you Eternal Sonata. That is true. It has a nice shape. Eternal Sonata gameplay. It was on the PS3 as well. But it was on the Xbox 360. What do you think of EU federalists? I'm not against the federalization of the EU, to be honest. I'm not a big fan of nation state absolutist. Okay, let me show you. Oh, there you go. They don't have Frederick is Chopin, of course. Frederick is Chopin, naturally.
I'm gonna pound you fair and square.
Oh, we are nation states. We are. We have to keep our sovereignty. Any sort of bigger cooperation with the European Union means that we are enslaved. And instead of building cooperation between countries when it comes to the army, we need to completely separately militarize, and it's stupid. It's stupid. It causes the problems that we have right now when it comes to... It causes Europe's problems when it comes to the military right now. It's why the European Union is... The European Union's... the manufacturing in the European Union is more expensive and the quantity is lower than in places like the United States, for example. Because the military industry is fractured.
I'm gonna pound you fair and square.
Take that!
Sacred strike! Get going!
I think Scotland fights with an umbrella in this game.
Do you think that did it?
Take that!
Sacred
go. That's the Chopin game. I have to show you some gameplay with actual Frédéric Chopin. Oh, new game. Okay, you're gonna see some story, I guess, with the new game.
I must do this. And it's for the person who means the most to me. My life is nothing compared to his. Doing this is easy if it's for him.
There you go. I'm gonna watch some fever dream of Chopin when he was dying.
Thank you, everyone. I know it didn't last very long. But really, this was the best time I've ever had in my life. If I blow him a kiss, I wonder, will it reach him up there? No, I guess it won't.
The rippling surface of flowing water
What was that?
transforms the soft light of the morning sun. The beams combine, becoming a spotlight that paints the stage. The flowers awaiting the curtain's rise display faces of bright red and brilliant yellow. They turn their ears to listen to the performance that is about to
I'm
begin.
pretty sure there will be cutscenes of Chopin's room and bed, etc. when with him lying in bed feverish.
Accompanied by the gentle rhythm of a babbling brook, the birds begin to sing.
Because this is the inside of his dream. This whole
Meanwhile,
world.
a mischievous sea breeze causes a rustling amidst the leaves of the trees, disrupting the concert. It is a familiar scene,
Eternal
one that has
Sonata.
unfolded every morning since the beginning of time.
It's an RPG
And
about
even now, the daily
the
overture
Chopin's
continues,
dream when he was dying.
its delicate, perfect balance never faltering, never changing. In the midst of this joyous orchestration, at the center of the morning's discordant musical performance, lies a small village nestled deep in the wood.
Don't worry, they're gonna meet Chopin pretty early in the game.
The name
his
of the
dream.
village is Tenuto. It sits atop a hill which overlooks the coastline. In fact, the town is only about 4 miles from the sea. Tenuto is very lucky in this regard, for the town enjoys a wonderful cool breeze and a view that is nothing short of amazing.
No. What is the third longest river in Africa?
And then there are the flowers. They seem to blossom almost everywhere in the town. They paint the landscape with color as far as the eye can see. And they are the reason Tenuto is also known by another name, the Village of Flowers. There is a harbor town at the foot of a hill that can be seen from Tenuto. When night falls, the lights from the town shine like diamonds.
Well done.
And open the hearts of
wonder.
those who gaze upon their illustrious splendor. Under normal circumstances, one might expect to find a bustling shopping district for tourists in a village as beautiful as
I'm
this
not reading the name.
However, no such
I will not
shops
be
are
baited.
to be found. Not here. In fact, the village is quite calm, almost strangely
I don't remember the
quiet.
prologue being quite this long.
It is a place that
Jesus
exudes
Christ,
a
it's
peaceful
over.
tranquility. A tranquility that further increases its allure,
It's too
as
mouthful.
well as its mystery.
The prologue is a bit too long. You don't want to see Chopin? Oh, and this character's name is Polka.
Mommy, why are there waves in the sea?
Well, darling, there are waves because of the moon.
I don't remember. I played it many years
Because
ago.
of the moon?
And I don't think I even discovered because
That's
I
right.
I
The
got
moon
far
charms
enough.
the water in the ocean with its beauty. And because the moon is so beautiful, the seawater just
It
can't
is
sit
implied
still.
it's for some
Is that
beloved
true?
person.
Really?
Eternal Sonata.
Really? Don't you feel your heart start fluttering inside of you when you look at the moon?
I do!
It's about Chopin's dream
What
when
about
he
the
was
puddle?
dying.
Will it make waves when the moon comes out too?
No, dear. There's not enough water. You need lots and lots of water, like the ocean, before it can make any real waves.
But it's a nice game. I like
I
it.
see.
I
But
would play
that's
it
weird.
again from
Why
start
can't
to
a
finish.
little bit of water make waves too?
Or it's on the PS3 and Xbox 360. As you can see.
The amount of water is the most important part of creating waves. That can be said about people as well. There are many things in this world that can charm people's hearts, just like the moon charms the sea. Things like wealth, vanity, status, image, and power.
Or piano music.
People who are drawn to these things create waves, and the fear in their hearts makes the waves grow bigger and stronger. The more people there are, the bigger the waves can become. And as the number of people grows, the waves grow bigger and bigger. And
Or
that can
revolution.
lead to terrible conflicts. This is probably too hard for you to understand.
I guess.
Yeah, but those are
But
fake
if
waves.
something like that ever were to happen during your life, your only choice might be to jump into that sea. Because when you do, those big waves will calm down. It may be difficult at times, but if you try your best, you'll bring joy to the person who means the most to you.
There you go. You got the answer. She
Really?
commits suicide because
Okay!
because her mom filled her head with nonsense when she was a kid. There you go.
Yes.
That's the answer.
Though it's insulting to compare seawater stirred by the beauty of the moon to the ugly waves of human desire.
There you go. Her mom filled her head with nonsense. That's why she jumped at the start of the game. Oh, there you go. October 16th, 1849. Number 12 plays Vendôme, Paris, France. Chopin's room. He is dying. There you go. Finally, we get the premise.
He seems to have calmed down, hasn't he, Doctor? He doesn't look like he's in pain the way he did before.
It seems as though he must be
18
having a
something
pleasant
something.
dream.
Yes. Well, that would be nice.
Hello, the legend of Drunken Gamer. We're watching
It would be
Eternal
even
Sonata.
better if that means he's headed towards recovery. A full recovery.
1849.
It's said that people can
The
have
year
the
that
most
Chopin
peaceful
died,
dreams
shockingly
just
enough.
before they pass on.
What are you talking about? How can you say that?
Well, it is Chopin and he died in this
I
year.
apologize. Hopefully, it's just an old wives' tale.
Spoilers, it's not. He is dying. Oh, so, are you new to this stream, The Legend of Drunken Gamer?
Frederick.
Yeah, that's right. That is Chopin. That is exactly how he looked like. Very realistically depicted. Was Napoleon exiled by that point? I think so. I believe so. Wasn't he dead at that point? Actually? When did Napoleon die? Napoleon died in 1821. He was dead by that point, not just exiled. Chopin, that boy might have known how to play piano. Yeah, a bit.
Oh,
Just a
I
bit.
guess I took longer than usual. Mom's probably worried about me. I'd better get home before it gets dark.
And yes, again, this character's name is Polka. A Polish woman. Oh yeah, let me... Polish flag, there you go. This game is nice. It looks nice. Oh yeah,
The
she
animals
fights
that
with
live in
an
the
umbrella.
forest around here aren't really very strong, so I should be able to defeat them without too
It's
much
called
trouble.
Eternal
But
Sonata.
just to be safe, I'll go over the basics of how to fight again.
I'm just watching it on YouTube. I'm not actually playing
Let's
it.
see. The turn order goes from fastest to slowest, right?
It's about Chopin's
It looks
dream
like
when
it's
he was
my
dying.
turn now. I should try moving around a bit to
That's
start
the
with.
whole premise. And then you spend
Until
time
this
as
action
Chopin
gauge
in
runs
his
out of
dream.
time, I can move around to anywhere I want. The action gauge only decreases when I'm actually doing something, so if I don't know what to do next, I can stop and think about it without losing my turn. Moving around isn't the only thing I can do. I can attack enemies too. This time, I think I'm gonna try using the attack button.
So you know, if something does not make sense, like the waves thing, then you also have wind created,
Now I've got it. I'm
Waves.
starting to remember how to do this more and more.
then you know what? It's a
There's
dream.
also one other thing about the action gauge.
That's the
Every
excuse for
time one of
anything
my
not making
attacks
sense.
hits an
It's a
enemy,
dream.
the action gauge goes up a little, which means that the more I attack my enemies, the more extra time I'll get to keep on moving and fighting. All right, I
When
think
did they
maybe it's
start
time to try
deporting the
attacking.
monsters from France? When Trump became the leader of France.
Oh, it looks like all the time in the action gauge has run out already. I guess that means my turn is over. I guess I'll just have to wait until it becomes my turn again. Oh, that's right. I almost forgot about that. When the next arrow appears overhead like this, it means that my turn will be coming up next. That way I have time to prepare, and I won't be surprised by it suddenly becoming my turn. Okay, it's my turn again. I feel sorry for this little guy, but I guess I'd better finish him off.
You could just run away and leave him be. Oh, I guess that's not an option. Whatever.
Orange glow!
He's not even attacking
Look
you.
out!
Oh, whatever.
By pressing the block
Yes.
button when an enemy attack is going to hit me, I can defend myself. But I have to get the timing just right, so I really need to concentrate. And if I want to run away, I just have to press and hold down LB and RB at the same time when it's my turn.
You could do that, you
But I
know.
need to hold down the buttons during my entire turn, so I have to watch for the next arrow. That way I can start holding down LB and RB before my turn even starts, or else I might not be able to get away. I think that pretty much covers all the basics of fighting. Okay, I'm almost done. I just have to keep at it.
You could just run away.
Okay.
Aha. Let's watch the game till she'll meet Frederick Chopin, and then we can turn it off. Turn off the YouTube video, I mean, not because I'm not playing. Look. Okay, don't go into the battle. Okay. No!
Just watch this.
Okay. I'm pretty sure Sakuraba was the composer for this game. He is a composer for a lot of games, but I might be wrong. But it sounds like Sakuraba music, so it very much sounds like it has Sakuraba's fingerprints on it.
Just watch this.
Motoi Sakuraba. Aww. Alright. Ah, the ocean. Ah, the ocean is sparkling like gems of little bubbles.
Just watch this.
I'm gonna skip this. Okay, we're gonna skip to her meeting Chopin, okay? Let's give them to meeting for their Chopin, okay?
Be careful, Beat. They're after the bread.
We've got people waiting for this, and we don't have enough to give any of it to you.
There is Chopin.
So, how about we go around?
When are they gonna meet Chopin? Oh, there you go. That was such a long prologue. There you go. Now they meet Frederick Chopin. That's what I was waiting.
It's not. This place used to be much more beautiful.
This is Frederick Chopin in the game. There you go. We
You
meet
have a
him.
heart that sees the world with open eyes, don't you?
Who are you? And what are you doing out here this late at night?
Everything in the world slowly fades with time. It is very difficult to remain still and keep things exactly as they are in just one particular moment. But because everything shifts only a little bit at a time, no one really notices the change.
My name is Frederick Chopin, the famous pianist. Some say I'm Polish and some say I'm French. Who do you think I am? What do you think I am, Polish or French?
The things that Frederick is seeing, is it all really just a dream?
Yes.
The difference between dreams and reality may very well just be relative.
No.
Oh, and what makes you say that?
Because I'm an
Well,
uneducated
I
dolt.
don't know. I guess it just came into my mind when I was watching Frederick's face while he was sleeping.
That may be more true than we know. Perhaps what Mr. Chopin is experiencing is not a dream. Only the individual can determine what is a dream and what is reality. Just because his eyes are closed, that does not necessarily mean he is dreaming. However, if he comes to think that the world he's in on the other side is the true reality, then...
Then we're the dream.
Then it's possible he may never return to our reality.
He's ill and he's dying. Stop saying such nonsense. You're a doctor, for God's sake.
Wow! So you can use magic powers too, Frederick?
Yeah, I play the piano.
Oh, but then that must mean you're like me. And that you're gonna die soon too.
Yes, you're right. I'm afraid that may very well be true.
So, what kind of magic can you use?
I play the piano.
Well, essentially any and all kinds of magic. After all, this whole world is in my dream.
You're a strange man, Frederick.
No, it's true. Everything around us is all a part of my dream. Even you are just a product of my imagination.
Okay then. If what you say is true, can you tell what I'm thinking about right now?
Because I don't get 19th century medicine, Lucy. That is true. I don't seem to get it.
Easy for you.
Also,
Of course it
that's
is.
not how that works.
You were thinking that you don't want to use your magical abilities in front of other people anymore. Am I correct? I don't blame you for feeling that way. No one likes to be hurt.
Yeah, that's not how dreaming works. It doesn't mean that you can read the minds of every person that you made in a dream, unless you're a super lucid dreamer, mega lucid dreamer.
Frederick,
It was before Big
there's
Pharma,
something I'd
true.
really like to show you, but it's in the forest. Would you come with me?
He should already know what's in the forest.
You want me to go with you to the forest? You mean right now?
Shouldn't you already know what's in the forest if
Because
it's whatever?
it can only be seen at night.
What does he use for fighting? I think he uses a baton or something. Silly. Biased. White and red character by the name of Polka. I wonder, what is this supposed to signify? Horse! Did you know that Poland gifted the new Pope with a white horse? Welcome, Dream Woman! I am the only real person here. All of you are fake. Why is he being so polite to those dream folk? Hmm. Yes, a journey to death. I am dying. That is my final journey. It's a dream, Stu. It's not real. I'm gonna go to the toilet while I let this play for a bit. And when I'm back, we're gonna do the news.
Continue your sleep. You dare to turn your sword to me?
Orange glow! Shade Comet! I'm sorry.
Hugh Grave! Now you will rest.
Shade Comet! I'm sorry.
Do not be ashamed. How pitiful, you soulless creatures!
Shade Comet! I'm sorry.
Hugh Grave!
Orange glow! Orange glow! Orange glow! Perfect!
Hugh Grave! Now you will rest.
Orange glow! Perfect!
Do not be ashamed.
I did it!
I'm back.
Much better.
We see cosplaying as Hassan today. See, if I was really cosplaying as Hassan, then I'd be showing my new shock color for Fido. Speaking of that, did you see Hassan was mentioned by Andrew
You foolish creatures!
Cuomo in the debate? Wait, what? Really? Was it the dog thing?
Sacred signature!
See? Am I too quiet? Oh. See? Hassan gives his dog shock therapy, and I give my dog hot dogs. It's a video, yeah. I don't have this game. I don't have this game. I could play it on stream if I got an emulator or something. It's called Eternal Sonata. Do you know this game? About Frédéric Chopin's last dream when he was dying? Also, as you can see, I've become a ultra patriot, and I have a Polish flag now. Let's do some news. Productive. Oh my god. I'm gonna save this for later. No tomahawks, I guess. Not satisfied, Bushu. Not satisfied. Oh. He ate 2 hot dogs. And I ate 2 hot dogs too because I shared. I shared half my food with him. I hope he's happy. I hope he appreciates that I shared half my food with him. I hope he appreciates this gesture of goodwill. And now he yawned. I'm describing him to you because he is not a good dog and he does not keep in the frame on his small bed. I don't get the dog shock color thing. Like, shouldn't you only care about that if you're a vegan or something? Or a dog owner, I guess. I mean, technically speaking, the torture of animals you should care about even if you're not a vegan. No? Like Cuomo mentioning Hassan. In what context did he mention him? Can you link it? Can you link that debate? Maybe I will be doing a debate reaction after all tonight. Ah, okay. I mean, you can really have an industrialized animal produced industry without torture of animals, right? That's not true. Technically speaking, you can. You can have them be killed quickly and painlessly. It doesn't need to be torture. So, that's actually not true. It's live right now? You're kidding. Link it. Bushu. 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 I'm at work on mobile. And now Fido wants something from me. Yes, Bushu. I give him a finger and he wants my whole body. It's live. We'll watch it later. I have a few topics prepared already. Oh my gosh, Fido is becoming needy. He placed his face on the desk and is looking at me. As if in anticipation for something. Oh my god, I should not have spoiled him so. Co jest, Bushu? No tak. Bushu? Co jest? No co jest? No co? No co? No co? No co? No co jest? No co? No co? No co? No co? No co? Co? No co jest? No co jest? He's sniffing around for more food. There is no more food. Bushu? Bushu? I should have let him sleep. But that's on me. That I decided to share my food with him. My mom's dogs passed away, both in past 2 weeks. Oh, that sucks. That sucks when animals pass. I remember when my cats passed away. That really sucked. I was really sad. Now he's drinking water. I can hear him drink water. Okay, let's look at the... Polish charity to open field kitchen in Gaza to feed 10,000 people daily. See, Poland is the best country ever. But first, let us do some exciting news instead of boring news, okay? We're gonna do an Asmongold segment. You excited for that? Are you excited for an Asmongold segment? Fajdo! 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 Zostaw! Zostaw, Fajdo! He's biting on a bottle again. Speaking of dead animals, yeah, a rat. Fajdo! I have to chase him now. Fajdo! He wants to play now. Oh, he wants to play now. He... Ow! Ow! He bites my ankles. And he bit my butt. He wants to play now. He's in a playful mood. He pulls on my sleeve. He bites my ankles. Speaking of dead animals, here's Asmongold. Moho, you could have that, but it would be extremely expensive. That's why meat industry gets constant subsidies. Even with the torture and stuff. Yeah. I don't know. And the most disgusting thing is that people... There are people that say they hate the meat industry. And also they say they are against lab-grown meat. So that's ridiculous to me, okay? If you could eliminate the meat industry, then shouldn't you be in favor of lab-grown meat? Like, there are big developments, like meat grown inside of leaves. That is an interesting thing, isn't it? You can grow meat inside of leaves. And then you have your meat leaves. That's already a thing that you can get and eat, a meat leaf. Fascinating stuff. Oh, why am I even? Oh wait, no, we're gonna watch the Asmongold thing. Asmongold is gonna tell us why I should not have an opinion on anything because I'm trans. Because apparently according to Asmongold, being trans is like being a flat earther. You can also eat the rich to supplement your protein intake. That's true. The true meat industry.
No, transgender.
It's true. So basically, the premise of this clip, Fido's back because he's in a really playful mood right now. I've stirred the Fido machine. He doesn't know that I'm streaming. That's Bushu. Bushu. Oh yeah. Really energetic right now. So basically, the premise is that being trans is like being a flat earther. It's the same kind of delusion. So I'm a delusional individual, and nothing that I say should be treated seriously. And we're just gonna hear Asmongold explain in this 2-minute clip. Okay, it's gonna be great. Finally, you'll understand why I'm the way I am.
No, transgender. The transgender ideology stuff is not a mountain out of a molehill.
Yeah, the transgender ideology is craze is real. Okay, being against trans people is not a mountain out of a molehill. It's true. Yeah, trans people are just evil.
It's basically a molehill that people are just fixated on. I know that it's a very small issue, but I would view it in the same way as I view flat Earth.
There you go. Trans issues are to be viewed the same way that flat Earth is to be viewed. What about gay rights? Does Asmongold view being gay the same way as flat Earth?
The reality is that if I knew somebody believed in flat Earth, that would completely disqualify them in my mind from being a decision maker for anything else.
There you go. So
because
so what's the logical leap there? What is
their decision making faculties have been compromised. And I think transgender is another good example of that, especially whenever it comes to minors and it comes to sports.
There you go. If you're trans, then you should not be able to make decisions on anything. Your decision making has been compromised, and everybody should dismiss you on any topic at all. You should be dismissed because you're a trans. You're delusional, and your decision making has been compromised. Especially when it comes to minors and sports for some reason. I have no clue why those things in particular. I have no clue why sports in particular makes a person's decision making extra compromised. Maybe it's because it's a loud topic, trans people in sports. It's a loud topic, and therefore it's just, it is just common sense, I guess.
What it really is it's a benchmark of this person is this delusional that they think this thing that is so far removed from reality that it provides a frame of reference that this person cannot be allowed to operate and be expected to operate as a rational actor.
Yeah, basically, I just decided that if you're trans, then you're removed from reality. All medical consensus be damned, because I guess all the doctors, all the medical fields that affirms trans people is just delusional. It's just a bunch of delusional doctors that should be excluded from any decision making whatsoever. And Asmongold here has decided that if you're trans, then you're just completely removed from reality. Well, maybe not completely. But once you believe that minors can be trans and that trans people can participate in sports, now then you're completely removed from reality, and you're too far gone to make any decisions on any topic.
It's illogical. It's completely illogical. That's the reason why
Why is it illogical? What is so illogical about it? You have to explain it to me. You cannot just assert that it's illogical without explaining why. You cannot just wave it away and say it's just common sense. You have to explain it. You cannot just wave away the entire field of gender studies and gender theory and say, "Oh yeah, it's just illogical." It's illogical because it does not make sense to me personally. And whatever does not make sense to me personally is of course illogical because it's just common sense, right? It's just common sense.
the transgender issue matters so much. It's like people who believe the Earth is 6,000 years old, or people that believe it's flat.
Yeah, exactly. All the uneducated doctors that diagnose people with gender dysphoria, that's just like believing that the Earth is 6,000 years old. It's exactly the same. It's just silly delusion, isn't it?
Or people that believe that there's like lizards living in the center of the Earth and they're the ones controlling everybody here.
Yeah, of course. It's completely analogous and it makes perfect sense. Lettuce says, I would totally trust with people's decision making to a guy who gags at the taste of water.
Like, these ideals are just so batshit crazy stupid that they provide a frame of reference that disqualifies that type of a person.
Okay, you have to explain why it's batshit stupid crazy. You have to explain what is so batshit stupid crazy about it. You cannot just say that it is so and leave it at that and say, okay, I said it's stupid, therefore it's stupid. There you go, I've done it. I've just you haven't said anything. This segment, this little clip is 2 minutes long, but he has not said anything. Lettuce says, oh yeah, and that's a coincidence that people who believe Earth is 6,000 years old are also transphobes. I mean,
from having the opinion on anything else.
But yes, I guess I cannot have an opinion on anything else. I'm trans. I don't think that that trans people playing in sports is a big deal. And I do believe that trans minors exist. So I guess I'm the worst type of trans. I'm the type of trans that should be completely banned from any type of decision making. I should be barred from any type of decision making. Period. I'm not fit. My faculties are not there. I'm a flat earther, basically.
For every American in this country. If not for the injunctions case, we would be here talking about another great decision that came down today.
It's an
the
indication of broken
case,
logic.
which
yes.
What is the broken logic? You cannot just point at some broken logic without explaining what the broken logic is. The whole idea behind logic is that you can explain why the logic is broken and what the logic is supposed to be. You cannot decide whether to dress up in the morning. I mean, that's why I text people about it, you know? I text people and I ask, should I dress up? Should I not dress up? And once they make that decision for me, then the adventure of asking them what I should wear begins. That's true. Like, come on. That is the laziest crap ever. You cannot just say, oh, it's broken logic. Okay. Why? What is the logic and why is it broken?
Restores parents' rights to decide their child's education. Seems like a basic idea, but it took the Supreme Court to set the record straight, and we thank them for that.
Oh, so it's horrible, actually. Parents should not be deciding on their children's education because that leads to parents being able to just decide that, oh yeah, we're going to teach our kids that the Earth is actually 6,000 years old or that the Earth is flat. Because I'm a parent and I'm just deciding my children's education. I decided that I'm gonna teach my children that evolution is fake. And that it was all designed by the watchmaker, God, or whatever. It's just, yeah. Parents should not be the decision makers when it comes to curriculum of children. I know it's a hot take, but no, it's not. It's not a hot take. It should be the most obvious take in the world.
And now that ruling allows parents to opt out of dangerous trans ideology and make the decision.
How is trans ideology dangerous? Why is the idea of trans people existing dangerous? And why does of course I know why of course I know why Asmongold here is nodding here like an idiot. But what exactly is so dangerous about children learning about trans people existing?
For their children that they believe is correct. And so we think
they should not be teaching transgenderism in anything other than maybe the last year of high school.
Why? What's the reason? What is the rationale behind this? Why should children not learn that trans people exist? Well, what the hell is the logic here? What is there so controversial that about children learning that trans people exist that they have to learn about it at the last year of high school? Transgenderism is a ridiculous term. Like, I dismiss it. Anybody that uses the term transgenderism, I just dismiss out of hand. Okay? Because it's not a, there's no such thing as transgenderism. Sure, says Lettuce. They shouldn't learn about religion till last year of high school either then. True. Ridiculous. That's just silly. That's just a bunch of like, I hate it when people like this just assert things without needing to explain, or rather they without feeling the need to explain or lay out the logic, or where they feel the logic is being broken, quote unquote, and why teaching children about trans issues or trans people existing at all is so dangerous.
Children should not be getting exposed to transgender ideology.
What does that even mean? What does that mean? Children being exposed to transgender What is transgender ideology to begin with? I would like a clear definition of what trans ideology, quote unquote, even is. Trans people is it asserting that trans people exist? Is that already under the umbrella of trans ideology? So should children not be exposed to the fact that trans people actually exist in the world? Is that the line? What about gay people? What about homosexualism? Should children also not be exposed to that? I know the answer to that one. Yes, the answer, of course, from Asmongold will be yes, children should also not be exposed to the fact that gay people exist. Because people like Asmongold see trans people or gay people for that matter as abnormalities, and children should not be exposed to abnormalities. That is the logic behind this. Lettuce says children should not be exposed to Asmongoldian ideology. True. Fake Alec Kyle Parker says trans people don't exist. I'm just hallucinating, Lucy. True. That is true. I'm just a figment of your imagination. Then again, I'm not in the position to make any decisions on anything, period, because I'm trans, so there you go. That's our segment. That's our first segment for tonight. Our milk viewer segment, because as I've said, Asmongold videos make us views. How long is this segment of Asmongold? Solid 12 minutes or something along these lines. So we're gonna release that, and we're gonna get a solid amount of views and solid amount of engagement, because Asmongold lunatics are gonna jump at me and say that I'm mentally ill or crazy or stuff like that. Speaking of which, we might as well jump into the topic because this clip is related to news that I want to discuss, which is the fact that the actual Supreme Court actually thinks that conversion therapy might be an okay thing. The Supreme Court actually wonders if conversion therapy is as bad as people think, especially for children. And I would like to remind that conversion therapy is not just about trans people, it's also just about gay people. You know, the vanilla stuff, vanilla bigotry, classical bigotry against people that just like to sleep with the people of the same gender. A majority of Supreme Court justices on Tuesday seemed likely to side with a Christian counselor because, I guess, the separation of church and state is just fiction, challenging bans on LGBTQ plus conversion therapy because that makes total sense. It makes total sense that whether or not conversion therapy should be decided by Christian demagogues, right? Oh, you're gay? No, that cannot be it. That's something that we will cure this. We will cure the gay. We will pray the gay away. We will cure you through conversion therapy. And, you know, the Supreme Court is of the opinion that maybe that's okay. Maybe people, or rather children, because this is conversion therapy for kids. Supreme Court might side with Christian counselor challenging bans on LGBTQ plus conversion therapy for kids as a violation of her First Amendment rights. So a Christian counselor said, yeah, if you ban me conversion therapying my kid, that's a violation of my First Amendment rights. Because as we all know, right? As we all know, children are property of their parents. Let us check out the First Amendment. First Amendment. The freedom of religion. Yeah, freedom of religion means that you should be able to do conversion therapy on your kid. That is the freedom of religion. Because again, children are property of their parents. And religious parents should be able to do whatever they want with their property. She's challenging the law in Colorado. The state says its measure simply regulates licensed therapists by barring a practice that's been scientifically discredited and linked to serious harm. Because, yeah, it is tantamount to torture. And it has been demonstrated time and time again that conversion therapy is tantamount to torture. But who cares about that? Who cares about torture? When you weigh torture of kids against religious freedoms of the parents, then of course religious freedoms of the parents will take precedent, because who cares about kids really, right? Who cares about kids' well-being? That doesn't matter. Does not matter at all. Scientific consensus, that does not matter at all. What matters is religion and religious feelings of parents. But the court's conservative majority didn't seem convinced that states can restrict talk therapy. There you go, talk therapy. Hey, maybe you're not gay. Are you sure you're gay? Maybe you're actually heterosexual. But the court's conservative majority didn't seem convinced that states can restrict talk therapy aimed at changing feelings of or behavior while allowing counseling that affirms kids identifying as gay or transgender. Because I guess you're not just gay, you identify as gay now. Being gay is matter of identification now. So we affirm that you're gay. Okay, we affirm that you're gay, but actually, are you? Maybe you're not. Maybe you're just imagining things. Maybe it's just a phase. Have you considered that you're actually super not gay? This is ridiculous. Unless it's 40-year-old kids that post Nazi BS in Republican group chats. That's just humor. Oh, come on. I think No, JD Vance said that it's ridiculous to criticize them. It's just, why would you want to ruin people's lives over silly jokes? Come on. Don't be like that. Justice Samuel Alito said the law looks like blatant viewpoint discrimination. Yeah. How can you discriminate? How can you discriminate against my viewpoint that gay people and trans people shouldn't exist? What is this religious discrimination against me? You're discriminating my bigotry. You're ridiculous. How can you discriminate against my bigotry? Also, Lettuce says JD Vance said it's teenagers when it's 30 to 40-year-old politicians. Listen, nowadays 30 or 40-year-olds are like teenagers, okay? Look at me. Look at me. The case blends two trends in the recent decisions of a court that's backed several claims of religious discrimination and taken a more skeptical view in LGBTQ plus rights cases. The court is also expected to hear a case this term over which sports teams transgender athletes can join. A decision in Tuesday's case is expected by June. Yeah, because if you believe that trans people can be in sports, then you should be excluded from making any decisions whatsoever. Don't forget. Don't forget what Asmongold said, and Asmongold is the golden standard when it comes to common sense and who should and should not be allowed to make any decisions at all on any topic. Then don't forget. Never forget that, okay? Never forget that Asmongold is your golden standard when it comes to what should be practiced and what should not be practiced. Don't get into the grasp of transgenderisms. Christian therapist says law silences her. There we have it. The law silences my bigotry. I cannot even say the N-word anymore. What is this? Maybe people that want to say the N-word should go to the Supreme Court and say that their freedom of speech is being stifled. Asmongold isn't political and just relies on common sense, true. Common sense warrior. Just like my dog. My dog also relies on common sense. And hunger. And his sense of smell. Child's contents, her approach is different from the kind of conversion therapy once associated with practices like shock therapy decades ago. Jesus Christ, people used to be shocked. Their genitals used to be shocked for being gay. She said she believes people flourish when they live consistently with God's design, including their biological sex. God's design. So much for, again, I will repeat it once again, but so much for the separation of church and state, hey? People flourish when they live in accordance to God's design. Her attorneys argue that bans make it difficult for parents to find a therapist willing to work on gender identity unless the counseling specifically affirms transition. Yeah, it is difficult for parents to choose to find a therapist that will just attack people for being trans. Miss Chillis is being silenced, and the kids and families who want help who want her help are unable to access it. Yeah, because I'm sure that young people that are trans really wish for a conversion therapy. I'm so sure that they really wanted the help of a, yeah, I'm sure that they want the help of a Christian conversion therapist. Just pray the gay away and now pray the trans away. Violating the law carries potential fines of $5,000 and license suspension or even revocation. Yeah, I want to say good. Yeah, good. Okay, abusing children should be uh, should have the potential repercussion of fines and license suspension. I agree. I agree that abuse of children is bad. What can I say? The Republican administration argued the Colorado law suppresses therapist speech and should be subject to the higher legal standard of strict scrutiny, one that few measures pass. Yeah, also, you know, therapists should also be able to be racist, right? They should be able to accept patients based on race because, free speech, freedom of religion, freedom of whatever. Yeah, the bigotry should be defended by law, don't you know? Because freedom of speech. This is ridiculous. I'm sorry, bigotry should not be defended by law. We're designed to see blurry, you heretic. That is true. My glasses are against God's design. Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson questioned why the Colorado law should be struck down, while the court upheld a different measure from Tennessee that bans transition related treatments for transgender kids. Whoops. I'm just, from a very, very broad perspective, concerned about making sure that we have equivalence with respect to these things, she said. The Justice Department counters that Tennessee's law is different because it involves medical treatments rather than conversations between a patient and their therapist. In other words, all laws that ban trans rights are good, and all laws that protect trans rights are bad. That is the gist of it. Because religious feelings and all that jazz. State says therapy is healthcare. Yeah, conversion therapy is just healthcare. Families who have spoken in favor of restrictions include Linda Robertson, a Christian mom of 4 from Washington. Again, the it seems like it seems like the separation of church and state is just fiction. A Christian mom of 4 from Washington state whose son Ryan underwent therapy that promised to change his sexual orientation after he came out to her at age 12. Yeah, again, this is not just about trans issues. This is also very vanilla bigotry against just gay people. Yeah, you're gay? Oh, you came out you like boys? We're gonna do something about that. We're taking you to a Christian therapist. The techniques led him to blame himself when it didn't work, leaving him ashamed and depressed, she said. He died in 2009 after multiple suicide attempts and a drug overdose at age 20. Wow, I wonder why. If your parents cannot accept that you are attracted to a type of person, the most fundamental thing in a human experience, love. If you cannot just accept that your child will love a particular type of person and you will try to take them to therapy to cure them of it, ridiculous. Then of course the person is going to grow up depressed and might attempt suicide and succeed. What happened in conversion therapy is it devastated Ryan's bond with me and my husband. I wonder why. I wonder why that happened. I wonder why that bond and trust was severed. Oh, maybe it's because you could not accept your son for who he fundamentally was. First, it is very, and the saddest thing is that there's nothing particularly special about being gay. There's nothing. It is just such a mundane thing to just, oh, a man that is attracted to men. Wow, incredible. And to destroy a person's life over something like that, to drive them to suicide. It absolutely destroyed his confidence he could ever be loved or accepted by God. Colorado argues its law does allow for wide-ranging faith-based conversations, and it exempts religious ministries. It should not. No one has been sanctioned under the law, the 2019 law. I think there should be a bigger crackdown on religion deciding on what other people's sexuality should be, but maybe I'm a bit strict on this. Maybe I'm just a lunatic. State attorneys say that therapy is healthcare and that Colorado has a responsibility to regulate it. Providers have a duty to act in their patients' best interest and according to their professional standards. The First Amendment effort affords no exception. Colorado Solicitor General Shannon Stevenson said, yeah, the First Amendment should not be carte blanche to drive people to suicide. In other words, to be blunt. Justice Niall Gorash, though, questioned whether the same argument could have been used to restrict pro-LGBTQ plus therapy in previous decades, when the mainstream medical view was different. What if a state back then might have passed a law prohibiting talk therapy that affirmed homosexuality? Yeah, the problem is, if someone is gay, believe it or not, you don't really need affirmative therapy, okay? If someone is gay, they will just be attracted to, if a woman is gay, she will just be attracted to women, and if a man is gay, he will just be attracted to men. Trust me, he will not need special affirming therapy, unless, okay, unless they are being attacked by their family to the point that they actually start feeling guilty about it. But that is, like, people, it's just, I don't know. If any affirming therapy is needed for homosexuality, it is only because society creates that need by its bigotry. Justice Amy Coney Barrett suggested strict scrutiny might apply, but malpractice suits could address claims on harm linked to the practice. Laws challenged elsewhere. Chills is represented by Alliance Defending Freedom. Okay, freedom to be a bigot. I'm sorry, again, bigotry should not be protected by law. Bigotry should not be considered a freedom. A conservative legal organization that has appeared frequently at the court in recent years. The group also represented a Christian website designer who doesn't want to work with same-sex couples and successfully challenged a Colorado anti-discrimination law in 2023 because, again, it's not just about trans people. The Republicans, the conservatives, MAGA people are actively working to roll back all LGBT rights, including gay people. That is a fact. ADF's argument in the conversion therapy case also builds on another victory from a 2018 Supreme Court decision which found that California could not force state-licensed anti-abortion crisis pregnancy centers to provide information about abortion. Child should also be free from that kind of state regulation, the group argued. The High Court agrees to hear the case after the 10th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals in Denver upheld the law. Another Atlanta-based appeals court, the 11th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals, has struck down similar bans in Florida. So there you go. The Republicans want to get rid of trans rights, but they also want to get rid of gay rights in general. They want to bring back conversion therapy and, you know, all that is considered by conservative thought to be degeneracy, to be abnormality. And that is there's nothing more to it. It's abnormal, and it should not be tolerated. It should be discriminated against. It should be banned by law. That is the logic. And also it offends many people's religious feelings. Things are not good. Things are not good when it comes to human rights, as you can see. And that is why we should be talking about it, and we should be very aggressively pushing against it, because it is nobody's business who somebody loves. Okay? It is nobody's business who someone sleeps with. Or at least it should very much not be anybody's business as to who sleeps with whom and who loves whom. That is my opinion. But then again, I'm not allowed to have opinions. I'm trans. So take what I say with a grain of salt. I think they should make all love illegal, true. That is true. That is the solution. The final solution, you could even say. Perfect. We went through this. We went through 2 interesting topics. Aren't you excited by the fact that we went through 2 exhilarating topics in such a short order? Hey? This is gonna be cool. I'm gonna do so many time steps for fake Alec Cal Parker. It's gonna be all exciting and stuff. Oh gosh. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. This is going to be so cool. But you know what? Let's go back to common sense. Let's I have more exciting news for you. Okay, I have a question for the chat. A very important question for the chat. I hope that all 3 chats that I always observe, I always look at the side chat, I always look at the Twitch chat, and I always look at the YouTube chat. Answer me this. Do you rely on experts? Do you believe experts have anything of value to say on anything? I'm going to await your response. I'm going to wait a few seconds for you. I want to see some responses in the chat. Do you believe experts have anything of value to say or give, provide? Do you believe that experts provide any value? Yeah, mostly. Mo says, no, experts are all captured by cultural Marxism. True. Lettuce says, depending on the topic. So, are you familiar with RFK Jr.? You know, the head of the Ministry of Health in the United States of America. The utmost, dare I say, the utmost expert when it comes to healthcare. You familiar with this guy? Well, listen. According to RFK Jr., you absolutely should not be trusting experts on anything ever. Okay? You should not be trusting experts on anything ever. He has not found. Dude, let's not praise him too soon. He has not found the cure for autism yet. He's just, for now, he's just creating studies to affirm his thesis. It's too late. It is too early to celebrate. So you should not. Let's hear him out. Let's listen to this 45-second clip and let's just hear the argument. Let's hear the argument as to why you should never listen to experts. From, dare I say, an expert's mouth.
My opinion, I always tell people, is irrelevant. People, we need to stop trusting the experts, right? We were told at the beginning of COVID, don't look at any data yourself, don't do any investigation yourself, just trust the experts. And
yeah, you should absolutely do all the Wait, what is your investigation going to be based on exactly? That is my question. What is your own investigation is going to be based on? Is it going to be based on data compiled by experts by any chance? Okay, I guess the logic falls apart. What are you gonna base? Are you gonna go out there and make your own surveys? Are you gonna do all the research yourself? Literally? Or are you actually going to take data compiled by real experts and actually end up depending on experts, even though you're not depending on experts because you're doing your own research?
trusting the experts is not a feature of science. It's not a feature of democracy. It's a feature of religion, and it's a feature of totalitarianism.
Yeah, if you trust any experts, you're just a religious fanatic and you're pro-totalitarianism. Like, trusting experts is absolutely not a feature of science. Nope, no, not at all. Not at all. Okay? I guess when mathematicians work with certain math formulas that has been tested and proven by experts, they don't really do that. Mathematicians just rediscover those formulas over and over and over again, time and time and time again, because they don't trust the experts. They don't peer-reviewed research. That's expert talk. No, no, no. You should just rediscover all these things on your own from scratch. You should not trust experts ever. It's just, are you pro-religion and pro-totalitarianism? What are you talking about? When you go to a doctor and you get a diagnosis, like let's say a doctor tells you that you've got cancer, you're gonna trust the doctor? You're gonna trust the expert? No. You should conduct your own diagnosis. You should test your own body for cancer. Don't trust your doctor. They're an expert, and trusting experts is just a feature of totalitarianism and religion. Don't you know that? Oh, you're gonna trust a biologist when it comes to the topics of biology? You stupid? That's you know the gist. You know what I'm trying to say with this, right? This is silly. This is stupid. This is brain dead. The fact is that he himself is not an expert on anything. He has no expertise on anything. I believe he only had some experience with agriculture. I don't think he has any experience with medicine whatsoever or in the medical field. So the fact that he was chosen to be the head of the Ministry of Medicine of Healthcare is just ridiculous. But he has to appeal to the fact that his common sense, his little thinking is above medical experts. That he is best suited for the job because he does not rely on experts. He just relies on his gut. I believe Trump said something along those lines as well when he said, we used to discuss autism years ago and we were ahead of the curve. we had our own theories and experts did not agree, and we just feel like we know better than the experts, and that is basically what RFK Jr. is peddling here. He's trying to legitimize his position through undermining needing to have any sort of medical expertise to be the head of the Ministry of Health, which is not just silly, not just stupid, but also quite dangerous, really. This sort of anti-intellectualism, anti-expertise, which is a new phenomenon, I guess, being anti-expertise.
In democracies, we have the obligation, and it's one of the burdens of citizenship, to do our own research and make our own determinations about things.
Okay, what the hell does own research means? Again, how are you gonna compile the data for your own research? If you're gonna take existing official data or any existing data, then guess what? That data was compiled by experts. So by default, at that point, you are relying on experts. Start breaking your own rule of not doing so. So I guess there's no escaping the relying on experts then. Even if you're doing your own quote-unquote research, just because you do not agree with the interpretation of some other experts on the data compiled by experts, it does not mean that you're suddenly divorced from relying on experts. No, you're not. You're absolutely not. Unless RFK Jr. here is trying to tell me that you should go out and compile your own research, that every citizen in the country should just do a project and compile their own data on all subjects of interest to them, which good luck on organizing that. You should just organize your own studies, organize your own data, organize your own, focus groups and conduct studies on them, and then come to your own conclusions and do your own research. It's ridiculous. I don't The fact that this person, this anti-intellectual buffoon, is the head of US healthcare, it's just frightening. He's going to cause many people to suffer and die. That is my prediction. But, what do I know? What do I know? I'm trans. I should not be making any predictions or decisions, or I should not be giving my opinion on anything because I'm crazy. I'm just insane. Oh my goodness. RFK segment, the best type. The best type of segment is segment about RFK Jr. This one's a bit short, but I don't even know what else to say about this, to be honest with you. Really? Don't trust any sort of experts ever? Insane. Just insane. But whatever. It is what it is. It is what it is. Dr. Johns, are you here? Okay, we're gonna go to the next one then. Okay, I think I ran out of these. So now I am leaving the chat with a choice because I wanna activate the chat a little bit. Okay? Choose, chat. Final Fantasy Tactics or another news story. Choose. Choose your destiny. If you're still here. Because people come in and out, and the chat is not very super engaged. I'm busy right now. I want to know the news. Very good, very good. Anyone else? Anyone else? Crater Rain, fake Alec Kyle Parker. Fake Alec Kyle Parker should be glued. Wait, hold on. Fake Alec. No. Fake Alec Kyle Parker should not be glued. Fake Alec Kyle Parker should be working on segments right now. Let me see if we're. Let me see if there is any new segments being uploaded right now. Checking. Loading. Loading. Nope. No new segments are being uploaded right now. Oh my goodness. I'm gonna DM him. Probably not watching stream. Segments. Burp. Burp. Rendering. Oh, okay. Perfect. All right. News it is then. I've got some perfect news for you. Viktor Orban news. It's been long coming, the Orban news, because you're all interested in Viktor Orban, right? Do you know the face of this man, Viktor Orban? Look at this. Look at this handsome gentleman. Do you know who this is? Do you know who this is? This is the leader of Hungary, Viktor Orban, who's totally not a dictator. Totally not a authoritarian figure that cracks down. Oh, he is not cracking down. He already cracked down on freedom of speech and freedom of the press. But it's okay because the European Union liked him and enabled him when he was still starting up. When he was still starting out, the European Union very actively enabled him, and that is why he ended up in charge to begin with. So I guess some sorts of authoritarianism are just accepted, and some are not. I mean, he just uses some emergency laws to stay in charge. No big deal. So there's been a scandal in the European Union over the Hungarian secret service trying to recruit European Union officials. And the European Union is not very happy about it. The European Union is not happy with Hungary spying on it and has started an audit on the matter. Because, of course, if you're gonna spy on us, we're gonna investigate it. But Viktor Orban has actually, because he is a skillful politician, you may like him, you may hate him, you may see him as a buffoon, but he is a skillful politician. That is why he has stayed in power for as long as he has. He has created a whole narrative of the European Union as well as Ukraine, because Ukraine is a part of all this, basically attacking Hungary, undermining its sovereignty and trying to drag it into a war. Right? And the espionage thing is part of this narrative that the European Union is needlessly attacking Hungary and again persecuting it, trying to victimizing it and trying to force it to join a war and drag its citizens into a war and basically to make them die en masse. It's a whole narrative, and the reason for this narrative is that there's an upcoming election. The opposition to Orban is doing very well in the polls, actually quite a big lead over Orban. So Orban is using every strategy possible in order to present himself as the defender of Hungarian sovereignty, of Hungarian integrity, of safety, of the safety of the Hungarian citizens. He's trying to position himself as that figure in order to be elected. And to do so, he has to have enemies to fight. And in this case, those enemies are the European Union as well as Ukraine. That is basically the campaign strategy that is Hungary's right now. Let us read a bit of the article, although I have laid out a lot of it in what I've said right now. The EU's probe into alleged Hungarian espionage in Brussels may bruise Orban's image across Europe, but inside Hungary, he's quickly exploited it to reinforce his narrative that the country is under siege. See, we are under attack from both sides. We are surrounded, and I am the only person that can help you. So vote for me. Vote for me and not the Hungary opposition leader. Because, of course, the one that's brought this whole thing into attention is the Hungary opposition leader, who backed claims of Hungarian spy network in Brussels. No. Hungary is still very firmly in the European Union. The Brussels spy scandal broke when Hungarian investigative site Direct 36 reported that Hungarian intelligence officers in 2015 to 17 had tried to recruit EU staff while posing as diplomats. And I think you can see why this would pose a problem. The European Commission opened an internal inquiry, and Oliver Varhelyi, Hungary's former ambassador to the EU and now European Commissioner for Health and Animal Welfare, said he knew nothing about it. I knew nothing of the sort. Nothing of the sort. Hungary is just being victimized, and you should vote Viktor Orban. The denial didn't convince Peter Magyar, the former diplomat turned opposition leader, who now he heads the centrist TISA party, and who accused his old boss of not telling the whole truth. Because, of course, the opposition is going to jump at this opportunity to discredit the current government. That is logical. But it's also true. Then came the government response. János Lazar, a senior Fidesz minister and longtime Orban ally, brushed off the reports, turning the accusation on its head. If Hungarian intelligence had gone to Brussels, I would honor them, not reprimand them. Easy? From there, the story turned inward. Pro-government outlets loyal to Fidesz, the ruling right-wing nationalist party led by Prime Minister Viktor Orban, framed the probe as another political attack from Brussels bureaucrats, trying to punish Hungary for defending its sovereignty. There you go. This is the line. This is the line about Hungary being under attack from two sides. Brussels and Kiev, twin threats. If the spy scandal gave Orban a new reason to talk about sovereignty, the ground for the story was already laid. Since returning to power in 2010, Fidesz has cycled through different cast of supervillains threatening Hungary. Migrants in 2015, George Soros a few years later, and now Brussels and Kiev as a single hostile axis. The axis of evil, you could say. Like North Korea, Iran, and China. The axis of evil. The European Union and Ukraine are Hungary's axis of evil. Orban paints them as outsiders trying to drag Hungary into war and punish it for staying neutral. There you go. Forget about the fact that there are many neutral countries that are perfectly fine, but I guess Hungary is just an exception. Also, Orban is not neutral. Orban is very heavily leaning towards Russia. So saying that Hungary is neutral is a laughable statement, to be quite honest with you. It's a laughable proposition. The Vox 2025 National Consultation, a government-run public questionnaire used by Fidesz to manufacture consensus on key issues, drove that point home. 95% of respondents rejected Ukraine's EU accession, a result trumpeted on billboards across the country under the slogan, "We will not be dragged into war," because for some reason people are being, well, I know the reason, but people are being made to believe that if Ukraine will join the European Union, the countries from the European Union will be dragged into war, which works for Orban's narrative extremely well. State TV looped footage of air raids in Odessa and Mariupol next to maps of Hungary's eastern border. The line was simple: the war is chaos and only Orban can keep it out. Orban himself pushed that idea harder in his October interview with pro-government Hungarian weekly magazine Mandiner, blaming European leaders for stirring up Zelensky and insisting that if Europe had followed Trump's example, peace would already have been made. Yeah, it's not Russia's fault that war is still raging on. It is actually European Union's fault and Ukraine's fault. Because you know what? Hungary is very, very neutral in all of this. Clearly not pro-Russian, right? Clearly not. As Edith Ushkevich said, writing in Viceguard Inside, since 2022, for the first time, a foreign state, Ukraine, has become the central enemy in Hungarian political communication. Across Fidesz media, the narratives now blur together. Brussels freezing EU funds, Kyiv lobbying for weapons and pushing for EU membership, and now the spy investigation is all part of the same foreign pressure campaign. The tone is relentless. Hungary is the last sane country in a continent gone mad. It leaves Orban increasingly isolated inside the EU, but that isolation is the point. Because if he's isolated, then he can paint himself as the victim. He can point himself as being under siege. A median poll in September found that 62% of Fidesz voters believe that EU acts against Hungarian interests, while only 18% see the bloc as an ally. It is proof that his base believes he is defending Hungary as isolated but righteous, a sovereign bastion in a hostile world. That is the power of propaganda. That is the power of the so-called manufactured consent. Brussels adversary. Orban's fight with Brussels is not new, but it's reached a different pitch. Hungary is still locked in disputes with the European Commission over frozen EU funds, rule of law reforms, and media freedom. Those arguments have become part of Orban's domestic story. He says they're not about democracy or corruption. They're about forcing Hungary into line. Who cares about the fact that Hungary actually cracked down on the free media? I mean, there is a whole topic to be talked about when it comes to the European Union's hypocrisy, considering that it allowed Orban to do all those things when it was convenient and stopped doing that when it stopped being convenient. But, you know, it does not change the fact that Hungary, in fact, is damaging its democracy and is, in fact, cracking down on basic freedoms of its citizens. That is undeniable. The same frame now shapes his stance on Ukraine's EU accession. While other member states push for talks to begin, Hungary continues to block progress, arguing that Kyiv isn't ready and that Ukraine's membership would destroy European agriculture. The same arguments were made against Poland, by the way, just so you know. About agriculture, at least. Orban has learned that constant confrontation keeps his base mobilized and his opponents reactive. The more conflict he provokes with Brussels, the more he can pose as Hungary's sole defender. Right? Orban likes to say that Hungary stands alone in Europe, isolated, misunderstood, and surrounded by hostile powers. But outside Europe, he's built a network of validation that supports his narrative of a sovereign nation under siege. The Sharm el Sheikh Peace Summit, hosted by Egypt this week to seal a Gaza ceasefire, gave Orban the kind of stage he thrives on. US President Donald Trump called him a fantastic, great leader and promised 100% support. Days later, Orban said that a meeting between them was already 80% agreed and would focus mainly on economic cooperation. From the east, Russia's President Vladimir Putin joined in from the Valdai Forum in Sochi, was equally complimentary, declaring that if Hungarians want to remain Hungarian, they should support Viktor Orban. Russian and Hungarian state outlets ran the line within hours. It is important to remember that because some data was quoted here that Hungarians do not see the European Union as acting within Hungarians' interests. But it is interesting to note that Hungarians also do not believe that Russia acts within its interests. So just keep that in mind. Even Xi Jinping, more cautious in tone, has praised Hungary's independent path. In Orban's narrative, foreign praise is political armor, proof that Hungary's defiance commands respect, even if only from the world's strongmen. From scandal to strategy. And so it explains that this is all a strategy for his upcoming campaign and his hope for defeating the opposition that has gained an upper hand and that is actually leading in the polls. The opposition is actually projected to win and end Viktor Orban's rule in Hungary. But if that will happen is remain to be seen because it seems like the Fidesz strategies are working. The messaging is relentless. Populist messaging like that is popular, and I will not venture to try to guess the result of the upcoming elections in Hungary. But what I will say is that the most favorable outcome, the best outcome that we could get is if the opposition wins. Orban should go. Orban should go. That is the main takeaway that we should all take from all that is happening with this story. Okay, do we feel like we have glimpsed a bit into the inside working of the Fidesz party in Hungary? How did you like? What did you think? Did you like this segment? Interesting? So we have some more news. My throat is starting to hurt. It is a bit cold in the house. Any thoughts from the chat? Today is a slow stream night, a bit. Only, not many people tuned in tonight. Feel like I will have to rebuild my audience, my live audience. I feel like I have dropped off a bit. Maybe I should be more consistent with the streaming. But we have done strides with the with Twitch, which is good. So, any thoughts? on the matter? Sorry, you want to see I got work to do. I'm not. I mean, you're here. What can I say? You're here. You're here. Robert Fico. Managed paper democracy. Very, very interesting stuff. Oh, throat is starting to hurt. Yeah. Night shifts suck. But at least from what I'm aware, you get paid more for night shifts. There's automatically a higher a higher wage for night shift. There was a thing that I wanted to talk, a new development when it comes to Ukraine. Trump and Putin meeting. That's the thing that I want to talk about. I mean, the idea that all the countries that surround a country are secretly enemies is interesting. Not secretly, openly. It's not even secretly. Orban's whole thing does not require for it to be secretly. It's openly. They're openly enemies. The European Union is openly hostile, as well as Ukraine is openly hostile, and they want to drag Hungary into war. These are the facts. These are the facts of the matter. Okay? So we're gonna do one more. We're gonna do one more on Ukraine. Because I'm a Ukrainian patriot, don't forget. Also, we're fundraising for me to go back to Ukraine. We're trying to get that new microphone. Hold on, I'll be right back. Moho says, like you see, it's a pattern with authoritarian countries, but like Trump also echoes that stuff in regards to Canada and Mexico. Yes, that's true. I mean, you need to have enemies. You need to have enemies to keep your regime in place. And there are certain scapegoats that are easy go-tos, right? The LGBT, immigrants, but also it is very profitable to say that you're a besieged country besieged by your neighbors. Poland did that as well when Law and Justice was in charge. The European Union was the enemy. Law and Justice was peddling a conspiracy about Germany rebuilding an empire and trying to conquer Poland. Yeah, it was a whole thing. It still is. What am I saying? Was it? It's not past tense. It's still a thing for Law and Justice, saying that Germany is trying to rebuild an empire and just conquer Poland. I've interviewed a politician during a protest, and she said that Germany is just trying to conquer Poland. I remember. And then she saw that I was pro-Ukraine and cut the interview short. I think I actually uploaded that interview. I think I actually uploaded it on my channel. That was good times. Those were some very interesting times. Oh, you want you what, mate? You what? You what? So, you know how Ukraine is supposed to receive the Tomahawk missiles? You know, those long-range missiles that would help greatly Ukraine. Trump has promised them. But ever since he has promised them, he has been very slow to deliver them, and it increasingly does not seem like he will. And in the meantime, Putin said, hey, how about instead of that, we could just meet in Hungary and have a summit? How's that? Well, forget about the tomahawks. Well, why not just do that? And it seems like that is exactly what will happen. Trump to meet Putin in Hungary after productive talks because, you know, it's always like that. All the talks that Trump has are productive, very good conversations, especially with Putin. The phone calls, late night phone calls when they exchange gossip, warm words, flirtatious sentences, and then it ends up being a bunch of nothing. Trump ends up being played like a buffoon, uh, basically gets what he wants and gets to continue his war unhindered. US President Donald Trump said he and Russian President Vladimir Putin agreed on Thursday to another summit to discuss ending the war in Ukraine, one day before the US president was due to speak with Ukrainian leader Volodymyr Zelensky. Trump said he and Putin would soon meet in Budapest after a more than 2 hour long phone call because, you know, those famous Trump Putin phone calls when Trump leaves satisfied. It was a very good conversation. He described it as productive because, of course, Trump describes all of his conversations as productive, even if they don't lead to anything, which is actually the opposite of something being productive. But I'm not the president of the United States. I'm not exactly the best judge of what is and what is not productive. The Kremlin did not immediately comment. The surprise development came as Zelensky was headed to the White House on Friday to push for more military support, including potential long-range offensive missiles. Yet, the positive tone following the US-Russia call appeared to leave in question the possibility of such support in the near term. Because, of course, that is the only reason why Putin even has those conversations to begin with, those phone calls, because it just leads Trump to not giving Ukraine the support that it actually needs. That is the gist of it. Trump changes his tone on Ukraine, promises any type of support. Putin makes phone call, the support ends, basically. Trump thinks he has gained something. Trump thinks he has made headway. And then Putin bombs several Ukrainian cities, and that's it. That's all that Trump gets. Do I need to remind you that Ukraine is getting much more bombed during the Trump presidency than just last year under Biden? Do I have to like whenever I'm in Ukraine, it's a new record when it comes to bombing and drone attacks on Kiev. When I was in Ukraine just last week, um, when I was just last week in Ukraine and Kiev, there was a huge missile and drone attack on Kiev, and 70% of the city lost electricity and water during that one night. Some religious person's whole house was destroyed, demolished by a missile. I wonder if Putin is trained in dealing with people like Trump at times. Yes, he is. Putin is an ex KGB guy. Of course, he is trained at dealing with people like Trump. He's trained at dealing with people in general because he is an ex KGB agent. Energy system targeted. Kiev and Moscow have been escalating their war with massive attacks on energy infrastructure, while NATO struggles to respond to a spate of Russian air incursions. The Trump Putin meeting will follow lower level talks between Moscow and Washington next week. Trump said no date was provided for the leaders' meeting. In a post on Trump Social. In a post on Truth Social, Trump said he would brief Zelensky on the Russia talks in the Oval Office tomorrow. I believe great progress was made with today's telephone conversation, he added, which, by the way, is something that he always says. He says that after every single phone conversation that he has made great progress, when in reality, no progress is being made. The only progress that is being made in those instances is actually unironically by Russia. Kyiv wants to expand attack range. Ukraine is seeking US Tomahawk long-range missiles, which apparently are not even going to be given in very large quantity. So even if Ukraine receives those missiles, they will not be a game changer, which is a common theme when it comes to aid to Ukraine, which would put Moscow and other major Russian cities within range of missile fire from Ukraine. Trump, a Republican who has vowed to end the war that Russia started with its invasion of Ukraine in 2022, had before Thursday expressed increasing frustration with Putin over ongoing attacks. Well, it seems that the frustration has been lowered with a very constructive 2-hour phone call, because Trump does not want to solve anything. Trump just wants validation and attention from Putin, it seems. It seems like it's more important than solving this war, ending this war. Trump said he could supply the long range weapons to Ukraine if Putin fails to come to the negotiating table. When? Well, Putin has expressed willingness to come to the negotiation table, so I guess Trump will not be giving the tomahawks to Ukraine. In its latest barrage, Russia launched more than 300 drones and 37 missiles to target infrastructure across Ukraine. In overnight attacks on Thursday, Zelensky said. Zelensky said, Kyiv has ramped up its own attacks on Russian targets, including an oil refinery in the Saratov region on Thursday. Russia has been hitting Ukraine's energy and power facilities for consecutive winters, as the war drags into the fourth year. In the latest warnings to Russia, Trump said on Wednesday that Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi has pledged to stop buying oil from Russia, which means nothing. I will believe it when India actually stops buying the oil. I do not believe pledges by people like Modi. No offense. I mean, Modi should probably take some offense. I do not trust that person at all, or his pledges. and that the administration would push China to do the same. Good luck. Good luck on pushing China to do anything. That is so naive. Trump thinks he has much more leverage and pull than he actually has. India has not confirmed any such commitment. What a shock. India has not confirmed any commitment towards Trump. That is such a shocker to me. What? How can that be? But Trump said that they promised. No way. That cannot be true. Though Reuters reported some Indian refiners are preparing to cut Russian oil imports with expectations of gradual reduction, three sources familiar with the matter told Reuters. Okay. We'll see. We will see. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth said on Wednesday that Washington would impose costs on Russia for its continued aggression unless the war ends. And apparently also Trump has said that the Russian economy will collapse. We might as well follow those two topics into one. There is a talk incoming between Trump and Putin, but also Trump has apparently announced that Russian economy is going to collapse.
I'm very disappointed because Vladimir and I had a very good relationship, probably still do. I don't know why he continues with this war. This war has been so bad for him. He's going into 4 years of a war that should have beaten, he should have won that war in 1 week. He's now going to soon be into his 4th year.
Notice the language here, by the way. I think the language here is very important to know. He isn't saying that the war is bad. He doesn't say that Russia is in the wrong for invading Ukraine. He doesn't say any of these things. No, he says that Russia should have won this war quickly. And it's bad that it's been dragged on for so long. Russia is actually not in the wrong for invading in his eyes. The only thing that Russia has done that's wrong is that it not win the war fast enough. That is the only conclusion that I can come to from these words. He literally said he should have won this war within a week.
In 1 week. He's now beaten, he should 4 years of a war that should have beaten, he should have won that war in 1 week.
He should have won that war in 1 week. Does that sound, do those words sound like the words of someone that is condemning this war in the slightest? No, he sounds like a person that says Putin is not a strong enough of a strongman. He should have won this easily, but he is dragging this for the 4th year. What is happening? Why is this war going on for so long? Why didn't he win yet? That is what I'm hearing.
He's now going to soon be into his 4th year. He's got to really settle this war. And you know, they have long lines waiting for gasoline in Russia right now, right? They have long lines. Who thought that was going to happen? And all of a sudden his economy is going to collapse. And I'd like to see him do well. I mean, I had a very good relationship with Vladimir Putin, but he just doesn't want to end that war.
There you go. If only he could have won it earlier, everything would have been good. Everything would have been better if he only would have won this war within a week, like he should have. That is Trump's whole attitude towards the war in a nutshell, in my opinion. Okay, that's it when it comes to this topic. Do we have anything else? That's it for now, I think. I think that's it. Perfect. I have done a lot of beautiful segments. All right, anybody still here? Let's see how many people are still invested in this stream. Because I've been thinking to show you some FF tactics. Okay? Is that okay? If you're still here, make yourselves known by writing something in the chat. I'm here. Oh. But you're not a big fan of Final Fantasy Tactics, are you? You're not a big fan indeed. Oh, wait. There's a game that I want to try. There's a game that I want to try real quick. My good friend has been working on a game. Okay, I have a good friend that has been working tirelessly on a game. They've been working on the character designs. They've been modeling the characters for the game. We're actually gonna try this out now. It's a free to play game. It's called Prismo View. It's about emotion. He's been a big part of developing this game, and I promised them that I would try it out. Experiment with emotions in this emergent sandbox simulation by identifying, engaging, and expressing dynamic creatures known as emos, all while trying to maintain balance and uncover the secrets of this mysterious alien world. So let's try it. We'll see if Greater Rain will like the game developed by my friend. It's only 1 gigabyte, and it's only 1 gigabyte. Games have to be about killing things for gold. Okay, it's gonna download very shortly. Then we're gonna test it out. Games have to be about killing. Okay, let's play it. Let's set it up on Steam. Or rather, on OBS. On stream. What the hell? What was that? What was that warning? Uh-oh. Hold on. I have to set up the game for stream. Can I do it? Is it possible for me to do? Wow, it looks good. Okay, can I set it up? Oh my god, OBS is giving me trouble. OBS, please! Game. Okay, let's add the game to okay, let's add the game now. Game capture you. Okay. Go. Then use a bus this garbage. Ah, that's the notification. I should uninstall it after the stream. Lucy, have you seen that the Anglican Church is doing a schism This time the reason is misogyny apparently. Can you link? Okay, start. We're trying out a game. My friend developed this game. Okay? Good friend has developed this game. Can I use the controller with this? Use right mouse button to rotate the camera. Use scroll wheel to zoom in, and exit focus. Click on floating spheres to start tutorial. Okay, let's start. Emotional charge. Emos move around and eat charge to grow in size. You can pick up the MO and drag it over the charge to speed up its growth. Oh. Look at that. It's an anger. This one represents anger. You picked up anger. That's funny. I have picked up anger. What do you know? Who knew that anger could be picked up? Medium intensity anger. Anger simmers, boils. Okay, get him. Get it, anger. Get the last thing. Get the last prism. Anger. Oh, it's so angry. Get the last prism, anger. Oh, I think I know. Okay, now we can do it. Alright. We got anger to get the last prism. Dealing with thoughts. Emotes sometimes have thoughts that you can read by hovering over the cloud. The thoughts rain charge down on the world and escalate emotes. I need to stop doing this. This is anger. I need to stop being angry, I guess. Thoughts can be used to express the energy in the emo. If you drag and hold them over the emo, give it a try. Okay, let's try it. What happened to the anger? Who could this be? Click on an undefined emo. Unidentified emo. Who could this be? The fog represents an unidentified emo, which you cannot pick up or influence until it is identified. The movement patterns, sound, and thoughts this emo produces are hints to the emo's identity. Click on the emo to try guess its identity. You have limited time to guess and guesses to do this. Is it anger? I don't know. I cannot tell from the shape, to be honest. Oh yeah, it is anger. Because that's the only one that we've been exposed to so far. Black holes try to eat charges and emos. You can rescue stuck emos by dragging them out of holes, and you can close the holes by clicking on them. Emos become holes when they lose all their attention and become transparent. Keep up emo attention by clicking to focus on them or holding them. You can only do this for so long before you run out of focus. We already did this. Emos need attention to avoid collapsing from emotional neglect. Keep up emo attention and prevent them from becoming transparent by clicking to focus on them or holding them. You can only do this for so long before you run out of focus. Scroll out with the mouse wheel to exit focus. If it runs out all the way out, you won't be able to interact until it comes all the way back. Oh my god, I should. That's it. I've identified anger. Keep the two mirrors in balance out of the red. But for now, I think we're gonna quit the game and we've done a bunch of segments, we've done a bunch of stuff. And now I'm gonna sleep. Because I have an early start tomorrow. Thank you all for being here tonight. And I'll see you later. I'll see you later when I'm back from the city. I have many errands. Thank you all for your love and stuff. And support for this stream as always. Alright, I'm gonna see you. I have to take care of some business in the city. I also have to buy some more hormones, and also have to buy antidepressant medication. Okay. I'm gonna see you. I'm gonna raid you into somebody who maybe will write me back one day. I'm gonna raid. Also, I'm gonna raid somebody on Twitch. Why not? Now that I can. I don't know. Riverboat Jack. Maybe Riverboat Jack will raid me one day. There you go. Who do I raid on Twitch? I guess I'm gonna raid Transgender for everyone. There you go. Sounds like a safe stream to raid. Okay, I'm rating this person. There you go. I've rated this person on Twitch.
This is Democracy
Transgender for
Now!,
everyone.
democracynow.org. I'm Amy Goodman. Ahead of the highly watched November 4th New York mayoral
And
race, in
YouTube,
which the
we're gonna
Democratic
end stream
nominees
now.
are on
Lucy Hayes, welcome in. Thank you so much for the raid.
Bye-bye.
Hope you had a good stream. What was